Hi everyone. In this video, we will learn how to use Jupyter Notebooks, one of the tools we will be using for assignment 2 to build a predictive model. I will start on the B courses page for assignment 2. And here, all you need to do is click on the link that appears on the instructions. It will open a new tab on your browser. And if you scroll down, you will find 3 files. First, the file we will be reviewing in this video that introduces Jupyter Notebooks. A second file that introduces R, the programming language we will be using in assignment 2. And finally, the attrition notebook that contains all the instructions for assignment 2. So here, all you need to do is click on the Launch Notebook button, and it will open the file. So in case you haven't worked with Jupyter Notebooks before, this notebook is just a type of file that can contain code, text, graphs, and more. The good thing about them is that it allows you to run code interactively. You can start with small portions of code and check if it's working. It's a very nice tool to debug and see that whatever you're building, it's actually working. So in this video, we will learn how to navigate through this type of files. We will run some code, we will edit and save. And finally, I will give you some tips in case you're having issues with the notebook, and also tell you more about the resources we have. So starting with navigation in the Jupyter Notebooks. Notebooks are composed of rectangular sections that we will call cells. Cells, you have 2 types of cells. First, the markdown cell, such as this one. You can recognize them because they have text and usually a white background. And also you have code cells that have a gray background and contain usually computer code. So these cells, you can edit them, change them, you can play with them just by double clicking on it. It will go into edition mode, and here you can just put whatever, take things out. Just whenever you're done editing it, make sure that you click the run button so it goes to the previous format you had. And here down, you will find a code cell. In this case, this code cell only has a comment. You can recognize it because it has a hashtag at the start. So if I play it, nothing will happen because it only has a comment. On the side here on the square brackets, you can see that it has a number 12. I've been playing with this notebook for a while, so I've actually run different cells, and this is the 12th time I have run a cell. So it shows you the order, and you can make sure that whenever you're trying to debug a program, you run things in order. As I mentioned before, this cell doesn't have anything, so nothing happens when I run it. It only has a comment. So regarding running code, it's really important here that you're aware we don't expect you to have any programming experience in the course. You will not be asked to write your own code. We will provide you some pre-programmed code that you will analyze and maybe do some minor editing, but that will be analyzed on the second video where I will explain how the R programming language works. So if you want to run some code, there are 2 ways. As I did before, you can click on the code cell and click the run button on top, or you could also press Shift Enter or Control Enter, and that will run the code. In this case, what we're doing, we're printing on the screen, goodbye world. I could also change it and say hello world and click on it again, and it will change the output. You can keep editing it as many times as you want. The important thing is that whenever you change it, you need to run it again. So just remember you're doing that. As I mentioned before, you will see the hashtag many times. Those are comments in case you want to remember why you're running that part of the code. So here the comment, it says, run this cell to see the output below. Yeah. Many times programmers will have comments on their code so that whenever someone wants to understand what's happening in the program, they can have an idea of it. So it's nothing we should worry about. In this cell, for instance, down below, you will see that we are assigning the value 42 to the variable x, and then we are adding 1. So whenever we run it, we will see 43 as the output of the of this programming code. So editing is something we have already done. You can always edit a markdown by double clicking on it. It will go into edition mode. You can change whatever you want and then click again the run button. It will go to the previous format. The important thing here is that in the notebook we will be using for assignment 2, you will find many times space for you to answer some questions like which model you prefer, which one has the better performance. So you will find cells like this, edit this cell, and you will include your answer. Just make sure that after you are done editing, you hit the run button, and every now and then Jupyter notebooks save whatever you have modified, but you are also able to do that by yourself by clicking here, File, and clicking Save and Checkpoint. Whenever you close the notebook and then you restart it, you will find it as the last checkpoint you had. So if you didn't save it and also the server didn't have another checkpoint, you will have to start again. So moving on, whenever you're done with the notebook, you answered all the questions for assignment 2, it's important that you go here again to File and click Download as PDF. That's what you will submit in the B courses page for assignment 2. So just make sure that whatever you download, you're done editing. You hit the run button on every cell, and that will be saved as PDF, and you will be able to upload it. So moving on, if you have any troubles, I would strongly recommend you to check these 4 steps we have here. So sometimes you will have some problems because you didn't run the content of the cell. So let's say you defined a variable on a previous cell, then you used that variable on the following cell. But if you didn't hit the run button on the first cell, then you will be calling a variable that doesn't exist. So just make sure that you run all your cells in order, because if you have a dependency, that might be an issue. Also, I would strongly recommend you to use Firefox or Chrome. Internet Explorer and Edge can have some troubles running the server page. If you were to have bigger problems, you can always restart the notebook kernel. The kernel is the program that runs the Jupyter notebook. So in this case, all you need to do is click here on top, kernel, and restart. You can just restart it. You can restart and clear the output, which means that all the variables you had run, the values will be cleared and you need to run them again. Or you could also restart the kernel and run all the cells in order. That's very useful in case you are already done editing and just want to check how a whole iteration looks like. And finally, you can always restart the server. That might not be necessary, but you can do that here on the control panel on the top right side of the page. You click on the control panel and it will show you the option of restart the server. If you need further assistance, I would strongly recommend to talk to your classmates. It's not uncommon that you will have one student that's ahead and he will be able to give you some assistance because he's either more familiar with programming or with Jupyter notebooks. You can always email me, try to reach out. I'll be happy to help you. Um, and also there's another resource here at Berkeley called Data Peer Consultants. You can always log in on this page and schedule consultation hours. They'll be happy to assist you. And finally, it's also very popular to find answer to common problems on the internet. A very common website I visit whenever I have troubles running code is Stack Overflow. You just put whatever error you get on the Google browser, and it will show you the most likely reason on Stack Overflow. It's very useful. So this is all we will see on this video. I will continue with a second video explaining VR programming language. See you soon.